Unleashing the Power of Faith, a Revolution in Abundance. Welcome to the Black CEO Podcast, where we dive deep into transformative ideas that challenge our perspectives and change our lives. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey that will revolutionize how you think about faith and abundance. I'm thrilled to share with you the groundbreaking insights from my recent interview with Dr. Tonie Restrepo, a visionary thinker whose work is quite literally reshaping the spiritual landscape of our world. Dr. Restrepo isn't just another self-help guru or motivational speaker. She's a force of nature, a brilliant mind whose research and teachings are creating ripples of change across the globe. Her unique approach to faith and abundance is transforming lives in ways that can only be described as miraculous. And today you're going to get a front row seat to this revolution. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, great, another talk about positive thinking and manifesting abundance. Let me stop you right there. This isn't your grandmother's prosperity gospel. This isn't about vision boards or repeating affirmations in the mirror. What we're diving into today is something far more profound, far more revolutionary. Dr. Restrepo's work challenges us to completely reframe our understanding of faith and its role in creating abundance in our lives. And when I say abundance, I'm not just talking about a fat bank account, although that's certainly part of it. We're talking about a richness of life that encompasses everything from vibrant health to fulfilling relationships, from a sense of purpose to, yes, material prosperity. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dr. Restrepo argues that the key to unlocking this kind of holistic abundance isn't just about what we believe, but how we embody those beliefs in every aspect of our lives. It's about living our faith in such a way that abundance becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitability. Now I can almost hear the skeptics among you rolling your eyes. Yeah, right, you're thinking, if it were that simple, wouldn't everyone be living in abundance? And you know what? That's a fair point. In fact, it's a question that Dr. Restrepo addresses head on in her work. Let me share a story with you that Dr. Restrepo told me during our interview. It's about a woman named Sarah, and I have a feeling many of you will relate to her struggle. Sarah was what you might call a model believer. She attended church religiously, pun intended, tithed faithfully, and prayed with the fervor of a saint. By all accounts, she was doing everything right. And yet, Sarah's life was far from abundant. She was drowning in debt, her relationships were strained, and she felt a constant gnawing sense of lack in her life. Sarah couldn't understand it. She'd been taught that faith could move mountains, but a mountain seemed more immovable than ever. Her prayers felt like they were echoing in an empty room. I bet some of you know exactly how Sarah felt. Maybe you've been there yourself. Maybe you're there right now. If so, I want you to lean in because what comes next could change everything for you. Dr. Restrepo's work provides a compelling answer to Sarah's dilemma, and possibly yours. She suggests that the missing link for many believers like Sarah is the full integration of faith into every aspect of life. It's not enough to compartmentalize our faith, to treat it as something we do on Sundays or in moments of crisis. True transformative faith is a lifestyle, a lens through which we view and interact with the world. For Sarah, the turning point came when she began to apply her faith, not just in her spiritual life, but in her professional decisions, her relationships, and even in how she cared for her physical health. She started to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth, every setback as a setup for a comeback. She began to embody the abundance she sought, acting from a place of confidence and gratitude rather than fear and lack. And the results? Well, they were nothing short of miraculous. Within a year, Sarah had not only overcome her financial struggles, but was thriving in a new career that aligned with her passions. Her relationships deepened, her health improved, and she found herself living in a state of joyful expectation rather than anxious worry. Now, I can see some of you nodding along, maybe even feeling a glimmer of hope. But I can also see the skeptics among you raising an eyebrow. That's a nice story, you're thinking. But what about the real world? What about when life throws you curveballs? What about when your faith is really put to the test? Excellent questions. And to answer them, let me share another story from Dr. Restrepo's research. This one's about a man named Michael, and it illustrates a crucial point. Faith that produces abundance is active, not passive. It's not about sitting back and waiting for blessings to fall from the sky. It's about stepping out in bold confidence, taking inspired action, and aligning every aspect of your life with your beliefs. Michael was a talented artist who had always dreamed of making a living from his passion. He had faith that God had given him this talent for a reason, but fear kept him trapped in a soul-crushing corporate job. He was afraid to take the leap, to trust that his faith would sustain him if he pursued his dream full time. One day, inspired by Dr. Restrepo's teachings, Michael decided to take a leap of faith. He quit his job and committed to his art full time. Now, I'd love to tell you that everything immediately fell into place, that the heavens opened and success rained down. But that's not what happened. The first few months were tough. Bills piled up and doubt crept in like a thief in the night. But here's where Michael's story takes a turn that I want you to pay close attention to. Despite the challenges, Michael held firm to his faith, not just in prayer, but in action. He networked tirelessly, honed his skills, and approached each day with gratitude and expectation. He embodied the success he sought, even when external circumstances didn't yet reflect it. 6 months later, Michael landed his first major commission. A year after that, he had a waiting list of clients and was earning more than he ever had in his previous job. But here's the kicker, and this is crucial. Michael's abundance wasn't just financial. He found himself filled with a sense of purpose and fulfillment that he had never experienced before. His relationships improved as he became more authentic and aligned with his true self. Even his health improved as the stress of living an unfulfilled life melted away. Now, I can see the wheels turning in some of your minds. You're starting to get it, aren't you? You're beginning to see that this isn't just about praying for a better job or a bigger bank account. It's about aligning your entire life, your thoughts, your actions, your relationships with your faith. It's about creating an internal environment of abundance that naturally attracts external abundance. But hold on to your seats, because we're about to take this to a whole new level. Dr. Restrepo argues, and I find this absolutely fascinating, that this alignment doesn't just benefit us as individuals. When we live in a state of faith-driven abundance, we become channels of blessing for others. Our success creates opportunities for those around us. Our joy becomes contagious. Our purpose-driven lives inspire others to pursue their own callings. Think about it. When you're living in a state of lack, constantly worried about your own needs, how much energy do you have left to help others? But when you're thriving, when you're living in abundance, you have the resources, both material and emotional, to lift others up. This is how faith-driven abundance can change not just individual lives, but entire communities. Let me share one more story that illustrates this ripple effect. Dr. Restrepo told me about a small church in a struggling neighborhood. The pastor, inspired by these principles of faith and abundance, began teaching his congregation to live from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. He encouraged them to dream bigger, to take bold action in pursuit of their goals, and to support each other in their journeys. Over the course of 2 years, the transformation in that community was astounding. Church members started businesses, pursued education, and improved their health. As individuals prospered, they invested back into the community. They started mentorship programs, funded scholarships, and created job opportunities for others. The entire neighborhood began to change. Crime rates dropped, and a sense of hope and possibility permeated the air. Now, I can see some of you sitting up straighter, maybe feeling a spark of excitement, but I can also see others shifting uncomfortably in your seats. You're thinking, this sounds an awful lot like the prosperity gospel. Isn't it selfish to focus on abundance? Shouldn't we be more concerned with helping others than enriching ourselves? These are valid concerns, and they're ones that Dr. Restrepo addresses head on in her work. She argues, and I find this incredibly compelling, that true faith-driven abundance is fundamentally different from the name it and claim it philosophy often associated with the prosperity gospel. It's not about accumulating wealth for its own sake or viewing God as a cosmic vending machine. Instead, it's about aligning ourselves with the abundant nature of the divine and becoming co-creators of goodness and prosperity in the world. Think about it this way. If we believe that God is a God of abundance, that the universe is fundamentally generous, then doesn't it make sense that we should embody that abundance in our own lives? Doesn't it make sense that we should be channels of that abundance to others? This perspective shifts our focus from scarcity to sufficiency, from lack to fullness. It encourages us to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to approach challenges with creativity and resilience rather than fear and despair. It's a mindset that not only improves our own lives, but equips us to be forces for positive change in the world. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and ask you to do something. Close your eyes, unless you're driving, in which case, please keep them open, and imagine what true abundance would look like in every area of your life. What would your relationships look like if they were characterized by abundant love, trust, and communication? How would you approach your work if you believed in the abundance of opportunities and resources? How would you care for your body if you truly believed in the abundance of health and vitality available to you? Got that picture in your mind? Good. Now, here's where it gets challenging. What's stopping you from living that way right now? What beliefs, fears, or habits are holding you back from embracing that abundance? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where faith becomes more than just a concept and transforms into a lived reality. Dr. Restrepo's work challenges us to examine these limiting beliefs and to actively replace them with beliefs that align with abundance. It's not always an easy process. It requires honesty, courage, and persistence. But the results can be truly life-changing. One of the most powerful tools Dr. Restrepo recommends is the practice of gratitude. But not just any gratitude. She advocates for what she calls active gratitude. This isn't just about making a list of things you're thankful for, although that's a great start. Active gratitude involves consciously looking for evidence of abundance in your life and actively appreciating it. For example, instead of just being thankful for your job, actively appreciate the skills you've developed, the relationships you've built, and the impact you're making. Instead of just being grateful for your health, actively appreciate the strength of your body, the clarity of your mind, and the vitality you feel. This practice does two things. First, it trains your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. Second, it puts you in a state of positive expectation, making you more likely to notice and seize opportunities for further abundance. Now, I can see some of you nodding along, maybe even feeling inspired. But I can also see the realists among you thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. What about when things get tough? What about when our faith is really put to the test? Excellent point. And it brings us to another key aspect of Dr. Restrepo's philosophy, the importance of community. She argues that faith-driven abundance isn't meant to be pursued in isolation. We need each other for support, for accountability, for inspiration. She encourages believers to surround themselves with others who are also committed to living in abundance, to share their journeys, celebrate their victories, and support each other through challenges. This community aspect is crucial because let's face it, this journey isn't always easy. There will be times when your faith is tested, when abundance seems far away, when it's tempting to fall back into old patterns of scarcity thinking. Having a community that believes in you and reminds you of your true potential can make all the difference in those moments. Dr. Restrepo shared a beautiful example of this. She told me about a group of women who came together to support each other in living out these principles of faith and abundance. They met regularly to study, pray, and encourage each other. They celebrated each other's wins, no matter how small. They challenged each other to dream bigger and take bolder actions. The transformation in these women's lives was remarkable. One started a successful business. Another healed a broken relationship with her estranged daughter. Yet another overcame a chronic health condition. But perhaps the most beautiful part was how their individual transformations created a ripple effect in their families and communities. This brings us to a crucial point. The pursuit of faith-driven abundance isn't just about personal gain. It's about becoming a force for good in the world. When we live in abundance, we're better equipped to serve others, to make a positive impact, to be the change we want to see in the world. Dr. Restrepo challenges us to think bigger about our purpose. She asks if you were living in true abundance, financially, emotionally, spiritually, what would you do? How would you contribute to making the world a better place? These aren't just rhetorical questions. They're invitations to align our pursuit of abundance with a greater purpose. Now, as we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, commit to living as if abundance is your natural state. Approach each day with an expectation of goodness and opportunity. Act from a place of confidence rather than fear. Practice active gratitude. Take bold, inspired action towards your goals. Surround yourself with people who support your vision of abundance. At the end of those 30 days, reflect on what's changed. How do you feel different? What opportunities have opened up? How has your faith grown? I suspect you'll be amazed at the transformation. Remember, faith that produces holistic abundance isn't about passively waiting for good things to happen. It's about actively co-creating with the divine, about aligning every aspect of your life with the abundance you believe in. It's about becoming a living, breathing example of the goodness and generosity of God. So let me ask you, are you ready to step into a life of true, holistic abundance? Are you ready to let your faith transform not just your spiritual life, but every aspect of your existence? Are you ready to become a channel of blessing, a force for positive change in the world? The choice is yours. The abundance is there, waiting for you to step into it. All it takes is faith, active, lived, embodied faith. So take that step. Embrace the abundance and watch as your life and the lives of those around you are transformed. This isn't just about changing your life, it's about changing the world. It's about creating a ripple effect of abundance that touches everyone around you. It's about living in such a way that your very existence becomes a testament to the power of faith driven abundance. So I challenge you, don't just listen to this talk and nod along. Don't just agree intellectually and then go back to business as usual. Take action. Start living as if abundance is your birthright, because it is. Begin today, right now. Look around you and find evidence of abundance in your life. Express gratitude for it. Then take one bold action towards your dreams. Reach out to someone who can support you on this journey. Start building your abundance mindset community. And remember, this journey isn't just about you. As you step into abundance, you become a beacon of hope for others. You become living proof that a different way of life is possible. You become a change agent in a world desperately in need of transformation. So go forth, live abundantly. Let your faith produce a harvest of goodness in your life and in the lives of those around you. The world is waiting for the unique brand of abundance only you can bring. It's time to answer the call. Thank you.